background noise here. Got the air conditioning on. It's pretty freaking hot today. I don't know, I guess it was only like 24 degrees Celsius out, but I mean, compared to how it has been, that's actually really hot. Sorry, I just got distracted out the window there. We're going to talk a little bit about mastery and mimicry today, and how they relate to your personal development and why you want to work towards a specific goal. So let's define mastery first. What is mastery? Well, essentially mastery is efficiency. Because when you master something, you're exerting less effort and you're actually achieving greater results. That's something that we all definitely want to work towards, isn't it? We really look forward to doing that. It's easy and it's difficult at the same time. Really, once you understand the concept and once you have the skill set in place that you're working on, it actually becomes a lot easier. So you don't have to stress about that part of it. We're going to talk about it. Mastery does come in time as long as you keep working at what you're working at. You can almost compare it to an upward spiral. That's what mastery is. You know, when we define it, as we go through the definition here, you're going to understand it more, and that's going to lead to more productive study in your field that you're wanting to master. In this case, probably marketing and reaching people more effectively. And when we're understanding it, it gives us foundation for a clear definition. In turn, more skill and more understanding. You can see how it just kind of spirals up. We're always growing in a spiral. They all play off of each other there. So that's awesome. It's a continuous cycle of feedback and refinement, I guess, if you want to make it even that much more simpler. So as you're doing something, you get the feedback, you refine your process, you keep doing it, you get more feedback, you keep refining your process, and you keep growing. So that basic principle must be understood, because without that upward spiral, that spiral just kind of flattens out, becomes a circle. And what happens when you're going in a circle? Well, essentially you're just chasing your tail, you're doing a lot of work, and you're getting nowhere fast. You're not producing anything at all. You're just in the same spot going round and round and round. And we all know what that leads to: frustration. How awesome is frustration? I hate it, but you know, frustration is not necessarily a bad thing, because it does help you break through cycles and helps you grow. So there's that. If we find ourselves in a flattened spiral, you know, we've got that frustration, we'll work through it. We'll keep growing, we'll get up there. So in order to keep that upward spiral going, there's one thing that absolutely must be crystal clear, has to be, and that's your why. That's your destination, that's your goal, that's what you're working towards. You must have a definite why. Why are you doing this? Otherwise, you're going to be all over the map. You're probably, when you're in the marketing industry, there's always product launches going on all the time. There's this little tool here, that little tool there, and you're going to get distracted. You're going to go off over here and there, when really what you need to be doing is focusing in one spot and continually growing the skill set you have with the resources that you have. And we have all of the resources right here that you're ever going to need to get started. Now, once you achieve more of a state of mastery, you may want to branch into other things, but really master this one thing first. Because if you don't have that why, then you're not going to see any progress. And if you don't have any progress, if you're not seeing that progress, you're probably going to quit. So mastery starts with a crystal clear why. And any of the leaders that you talk to, if you happen to be in conversation with them, they're going to tell you the exact same thing. It all starts with your why. Because without that why, the best thing that you can do is imitate. And there's nothing wrong with imitation. It's how most of us started out. That's how I started out in the industry, is by imitating leaders. Of course, you don't want to imitate them exactly, but model after them. What are they doing that makes success? In fact, within our product line, each of the industry leaders, the top leaders, they show you exactly what they do. They tell you how they did it. They tell you the results that they've got from it. And so you can use those things, imitate them, until you get to the point where you start growing on your own, but still imitate a lot of the stuff they're doing. I mean, they're great at building culture and community. They're great at continually refining their skill set. So you're always going to be able to imitate. Imitation, in that sense, is very good. But if you never get to mastery, if you're just imitating and hoping for the best, you're not ever going to achieve mastery. You're just going to achieve mediocrity. And in this industry, who's really, actually anywhere in life, who's really happy with just being mediocre? I don't know, that's just such a funny word. But yeah, no, I know I wouldn't be satisfied with just mediocrity. I want to become a master. And I'm continually refining my skill set and effectively conveying it. That's my skill set there. So the imitation, like I said before, it's not bad all the time, for sure. But it is great to do when you're starting out. Otherwise, you're never going to achieve true success. It's actually a really good principle in here of why you don't want to just completely imitate someone all the way, is because that person isn't you. Because what they're doing is having success for them because it's part of who they are. Their message and their actions and their personality and their DNA and what makes them up, they're all congruent. They all work well together, and whether you believe it or not, people pick up on that and they respond to it. So I'm not a David Wood, I'm not a Lawrence Tam, and if I tried doing things exactly the way they did, there's no way I'm going to achieve their success, because that's not my personality. That's not who I am inside. I mean, I appreciate the model that they have, and a lot of great learning comes from it, but ultimately I have to follow what I am. And that's what I want you to do too. And you're gonna do that. Once you get started, you'll figure out how to do that, you'll learn it, you'll learn an awesome skill set, and you're going to be able to capitalize on it a lot. People are going to respond to you. So is any of this making sense? I really hope it's making sense. Are you getting value from this? Awesome, awesome. So at the start of this video, we had a clip of an airplane taking off. You know, it's not a very good clip. I just kind of randomly saw it, and I stopped the car, and I pulled out my phone, and I zoomed way in on it, so it's kind of crappy quality, and you get the inside of the car there. But you see it going down the runway, and you see it taking off there. And you know, I thought this was just a really great way to illustrate a point. You know, all the principles that we just talked about can actually be likened to the principles governing takeoff and flight of an airplane. You're starting off, so the chances are, if you're here watching this and you're interested in developing to the point where you want to start your own business, you're going to be starting at zero. You're going to be starting standstill. And I saw the plane sitting there, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to stop. So what does a plane do? It doesn't just hope for a big gust of wind and let it take off, right? No, what it does, it starts up its propellers. This was a propeller plane. It starts its propellers to generate a little bit of thrust. And then it starts moving. It starts going down that runway, it starts generating more thrust. Then as the wind goes over the wings, it starts to generate lift, and when it hits the right speed, that plane takes off and soars through the sky and goes to its destination. But if you don't have enough thrust and enough lift, that plane isn't going to get off the ground. In fact, well, you're going to end up driving your plane from point A to point B, and what's the point in that? I mean, people fly for a reason, don't they? It's faster to get from point A to point B, and it's the same thing in business too. Now you're going to find when you start the process, if you've never done this before, if you don't have a list of people you want to talk to beyond your family and your friends, sorry, I got distracted by the window there for a second, but if you don't really have much, that's all right. That's perfectly fine, because a lot of people start from that point. You're that plane just sitting there. But know this, if you start imitating and copying what the leaders are doing and actually following step by step the training that's provided for you inside here, you're going to start to generate that thrust. You're going to start moving down that runway, and you're going to pick up speed. And that period is about 90 days. That's what it all averages out to, about right around the 90-day mark. You're going to be building your momentum. You're going to be generating that thrust. You're going to be speeding up. And when that 90 days hits, that's when your lift kicks in, and you're going to take off. And it's going to take off. You're going to soar faster and further than you ever even thought was possible. So I thought that was just an awesome illustration. But when you start, yeah, don't be discouraged, because there is about a 90-day period there, and it goes by so fast. When you're following all the steps, there's core steps that you want to follow. That's all highlighted for you inside after you make your payment and get in. So I could talk about this for a long time. I just get really excited about it. But yeah, I wanted to just kind of make that principle, that plane taking off actually made me think of it. So I hope you got value from this. I really do. The next thing that I need you to do, if you're as pumped up as I am and jazzed about this, just click on that link below, and You're gonna be taken to a page. I want you to put your email address in. Make sure it's your best email address, one that you check, so that we can communicate with you and keep sending you trainings and keep you updated and stuff. But then I want you to watch the video after that. Watch it right through. It's a very powerful video, and it'll outline everything in there, and it'll make some things clear. And after that, you'll know exactly what to do. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm gonna say in advance, welcome to the team. And until next time, I know that you can do this, and I do believe in you.